get another 3 chapters, 3 back to back, Job 36, Job 37, and Job 38. Let's hear what God's words say. If we're going to let God be true, we're going to let his words be true. And people that actually believe what the Bible say, they're going to understand it for truth, because it is the truth. Now, many people are wondering, where do you find all the flat earth scriptures in the Bible? Well, the whole Bible is a flat earth book. So look, this is Elihu's discourse continued. Elihu also proceeded and said, "Suffer me a little, and I will show thee that I have yet to speak on God's behalf, not man's behalf. I will fetch my knowledge from afar, and will ascribe righteousness to my maker." Okay? Maker, the one who made it all. He's telling you how he made his earth. There's no refuting. If you say that it's not what it is, then you're going against God's words, not mine. "For truly my word shall not be false. He that is perfect in knowledge is with thee. Behold, Yah is mighty. He despiseth not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom. He preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor." Let's continue. You're going to get a whole lot. And it's talking about the earth here. The whole book of Job is talking about the earth after, starting in 30, right? He draweth not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings they are on the throne. Yet he do establish them forever, and they are exalted. If they be bound in fetters and be holden in cords of affliction, which means they can't tell God's truth, then he showed me their works and their transgressions that they have exceeded. He opened also the ears to decide. He openeth also the ear to discipline, and commandeth that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasures. Well, are we getting that now? No, because everybody want to lie about God's words and nobody don't want to believe everything he said. So we're going to get that. "But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge." Oh, how are we going to die without knowledge if we're supposedly learning everything down here? Oh, well, that's a very good question. "But the hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them. They die in youth, and their life is among the unclean." Right? Just like eating unclean foods, right? So he's very specific about being clean and unclean. Okay? It doesn't change. He don't change. You can't change him. "He delivereth the poor in his affliction, and openeth their ears in oppression. Even so would he have removed thee out of the strait into a broad place where there is no straightness, and that which should be set on thy table should be full of fatness. But that thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked, judgment and justice take hold on thee. Because there is wrath, beware lest he take thee away in his stroke, then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. Desire not the night when people are cut off in their place. Take heed, regard not iniquity, for this hast thou chosen rather than affliction. Behold, Yah exalts his power Yah exalteth by his power, who teacheth like him. Who's going to teach like him? He's telling you, I created it, I'm going to teach you. Who hath enjoined him his way? Or who can say, thou hast wrought iniquity? Remember that thou magnify his work, which men behold. Every man may see it, man may behold it afar off. So how are they going to behold his works from afar off, right? This is dealing with the earth. Behold, Yah is great, and we know him not, neither can the number of his years be searched out. For he maketh small the drops of water, they pour down rain, he controls the weather. So if all these scientists saying, oh, the water vapors in the sky and blah, 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 they're trying to play God. So what are many going to do? They're going to believe him because, oh, science is cool, right? No, science was used to destroy the Bible. And you got a clear example of that last night. And I told people I'm going to keep doing these videos until it hits home. That there's no more games. The word is the word. For he maketh small the drops of water, they pour down rain according to the vapor thereof, which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly. Also, can any understand the spreadings of the clouds, or the noise of his tabernacle? Behold, he spreadeth his light upon it. He covereth the bottom of the sea. For by them judgeth he the people. He giveth meat in abundance. With clouds he covereth the light, and commanded not to shine by that the cloud that covereth betwixt. The noise thereof showeth concerning it, the cattle also concerning the vapor. Elu's discourse continue. At this also my heart trembleth, and is moved out of its place. Hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goeth out of his mouth. He directeth it under the whole heaven, and his lightning unto the ends of the earth. Once again, he keeps mentioning the ends of the earth. You can look up how many times does the Bible mention ends to the earth, and you'll see it's about 60 something times it says it in the Bible, ends to the earth. So if there wasn't ends to the earth, why is it saying it so many times if we're living on that? I don't get it. After it a voice roareth, he thundereth with the voice of his excellency, and he will not stay them when his voice is heard. God thundereth, Yah thundereth marvelously with his voice. Great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend. Like, people can't comprehend this flat earth. They can't comprehend it. So they'll buy the ball earth lie, right? Once again, this is dealing with the earth. This is Elu's discourse of what God showed him about his earth, okay? For he saith to the snow, be thou on the earth. Likewise to the small rain and to the great rain of his strength. He sealeth up the hand of every man, that all men may know his work. We're all supposed to know it. But what's the problem? We don't know it. Why? We got gatekeepers. We got liars. We got people trying to discredit the Bible. That's why. And people willingly go along with that. Then the beasts go into the dens and remain in their places. Out of the south cometh the whirlwind. He's telling you where the whirlwinds come from. It comes from the south. It's very clear. And cold out of the north. North Pole is cold, ain't it? By the breath of God, frost is given, and by the breath of the waters is straightened. Now let's get this word here, breath, in the Hebrew concordance, so we can understand the Bible a little bit more clearly, shall we? And you're going to see that it's talking about a straight line across. Once again, you can search this Bible inside and out and tell me where you're going to find anything about a ball. It doesn't say it. You can't have it both ways. If God created the earth and science didn't, then why do you believe science over God? Okay, didn't you know that science is a religion too? It's called scientism or Scientology. It's a religion. Don't you know they have a church of Scientology? Here, before I get into that, Before I get into what I was talking about, let me see. What was I talking about? Oh, we're going to get that word breadeth first from the Hebrew concordance. So, Hebrew concordance. This is the one I use all the time, Eliakim, right? You see this, Hebrew roots, because he's Hebrew. He's not Greek, he's Hebrew, okay? It's a big difference. Just like I'm African American, you're not going to see me speaking Mexican or Asian. Come on now. Now let's look at this word breadeth, right? People don't search the scriptures like the Bereans, right? That's why the Bereans were called noble. Breadeth, Hebrew word, right? 7341. And it is rakab, right? Or rakab.
Strong's H, 7340. Rehov.
Or rakov, right?
And second entry, Rehov.
Strong's info. Width, breadth, broad, large, thickness, wideness. It didn't say ball. Let's get the other words here. Breadth, width, expanse. Okay? Let's keep going here. That's in Genesis. Let's see how many times it's mentioned here. Look at the word breadth, and it always deals with the earth for some odd reason. Why is that? Because God's telling you how he created his earth, and if you refuse to believe it for the sake of science, you're denying God's words. See? Here it is. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make. So let's talk about that. When he was flooding the earth, telling Noah to build the ark. It said, arise, walk through the land, the length of it and the width of it, for I will give it unto thee. Okay, here you go. There, this is him talking about building something else. I want to get everything talks about, the earth. Okay, let's go down a little bit, because this is all talk about him telling them to build altars in Exodus. He was telling them the length and width, right? This is them making some more buildings here. This is another building that's the temple. This is a house, temple. This is another temple that they were building. This is another temple that they were building. So they built a lot of temples, right? Or this is the same temple. Okay, so we know that he's talking about length and width, right? Let's look up the definition of width, right? Because breadth is width. I just showed you that. So width meaning measurement or extent of something from side to side. The breadth, the width, side to side. See my floor? Side to side, side to side. See that ball? You can't go from side to side. That's called what? The circumference. So when we understand these things, look, it says here width and length, right? See that? See how it's a cube? See how it's a flat surface when it deals with this? See that diagrams all over the place? See that? Flat. It ain't a ball. So we got them visuals. We got the perspective here. So let's read this again. Okay. So it says here. And And then the beast, where is it? Says, no, it comes out of whirlwind by the breath of God, scatters bright cloud, and it is turned round about by his counsels, that they may do whatsoever he commandeth them upon the face of the world and the whole earth. He causes to come for whether for rain, whether for correction, or for his land, or for mercy. Hearken unto this, O Job. Stand still and consider the wondrous works of Yah. Do thou knowest when God disposed of them and caused the light of his cloud to shine? Dost thou know the bouncings of the clouds, the wondrous works of him, which is perfect in knowledge? How thy garments are warm when he quieteth the earth by the south wind. He created it all. Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and has a molten looking glass? Teach us what we shall say unto him, for we cannot order our speech by reason of darkness. Shall it be told him that I speak? Surely if a man speak, surely he shall be swallowed up. And now men see not the bright light, the sun, which is in the clouds. And I showed you that with that airplane. But they didn't want to go there and talk about that. They want to bring up, oh, lens flare and all that. That doesn't have nothing to do with the sun being in the clouds. Teach us what we shall say unto him. Shall it be told him that I speak? If a man speak, surely he shall be swallowed up. And now men see not the bright light which is in the clouds, but the wind passeth and cleanseth them. Fair weather cometh out of the north, with God his terrible majesty, touching the Almighty, who cannot find him out. He is excellent in power and in judgment, and in plenty of justice he will not afflict. Men do therefore fear him. He respecteth, listen to this, he respecteth not any that are wise of heart, that think they could tell his word and his creation better than him. Shalom.